and pure CSS approach to it. Table holds everything together, and then in the back end, if you're really in depth in this, you're going to have to go and have a different style sheet for those phones. Other than that, everything will work on most major browsers.
Let me ask you
even with small smart browsers.
to the cell phones. Are you talking about smartphone type browsers, or are you talking about cell phone type apps?
Windows Mobile.
Because you go to a lot of sites, and they have a site, they have something that will work even with not real browser type thing, as well as on a browser, but it's a very stripped down, very simple thing. You can do the same thing with a CSS specifically for that. It's difficult with .NET simply because of the way it's built together. So my recommendation to think about would be, would it fit your needs to have a separate site or page or a website that you could funnel the same information into with a slightly different design?
So skins, I mean, I guess the strategy for me might then be for the full function version of the site to have the 3-column skin or whatever, and a single column skin that might be accessed using.
And maybe just with different pages even, route it out simply because you want to display less information.
And while this is a concern now, it's something I've noticed, and hopefully everybody is noticing, all these little smart devices, as they call them, or handhelds, they're becoming better and better and better at catching up with the regular standard desktop web browser. So that's becoming less and less a concern. So something else is like, well, can we live with this for a little bit longer? Instead of investing all that time and energy to have a developer come in or a designer come in and redo things.
Well, we're just writing.
Well then, maybe so. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, I missed the introduction. Could you just go very briefly at a high level, just go over the architecture, logical architecture of DotNetNuke? I just want to, take a look, high level.
High level architecture?
Yeah, the DotNetNuke, like
features.
Database.
Okay,
modules.
No, that's all right. Okay, obviously you can look at architecture from 2 or 3 different ways. For instance, you have the architecture from the standpoint of what is involved. We have a database, we have a web server, we have .NETNuke. What other thing? Okay, there's 4 things.
I thought you had it covered. I saw this.
Web server.
Well, I was thinking inside DotNetNuke.
Inside .NET.
Logical.
Okay.
Modules.
So like it's built with, it's got security roles built into it.
Okay, yeah. What you're asking, are you asking architecture or features?
I'm asking like a picture of, say, like you will show me a picture saying, okay,
Kind of more
modules.
like he's looking for
Okay.
feature.
Then on top of that, you can build your.
Imagine, okay, let's back up, and something that I said earlier.
But the most
is,
important part.
yeah, understand that .NETNuke is an application framework. Okay, that framework comes with a built-in application that works. That's the website. Okay. Okay. Now, having said that, it has several very important features. One, it is provider-based from the standpoint that there's several functions built into it. One of the most important is the database provider that allows you to use multiple databases, not at the same time. Just makes a choice. You want to use Oracle, you can use Oracle. You want to use MySQL, you can use MySQL. If you want to use something else that doesn't have one, you can create your own provider, and there is a base abstract class that gives you all of the documentation you need or the requirements you have to meet to be able to make it work. Okay? That said, there's several pieces like that. There's searching, there's navigation, all this, the things that are required to make a website work. There's also a very, very big part is the authentication and roles management section, the security section, if you want to use that term. .NETNuke uses a roles-based security. Now, you can also, it uses the ASP2 membership type setup. It's built into .NET. It is modified by several factors. One, .NET had some legacy things that it needs that are not in the ASP.NET membership. For instance, DotNetNuke can handle multiple portals. The ASP membership can't. And so there is a layer that works between the two that does replication between the two. But the bottom line is, what it means is that you can take any page or any content module on a page and say, this can only be viewed or edited or any combination thereof by people with this role. So you have the ability to have an unlimited number of roles. Each one of those roles then can be said, okay, this page has the right, on this page, if you have this role, you can see this page. And oh, by the way, if you don't have the rights to see a page, it won't even show up on the menu.
And that's built in.
That's built in. That's part of it. That's part of the navigation and the security system. It is roles-based. It's very, very powerful. In 4.9, I think, in the late 4s, I'm not positive, did they have the groups in the late 4s?
Oh, what, the role groups?
Role groups?
They added that, yeah, in like 4 or
4.6.
5. I think it's 4 or 5.
4 or 5, in the late 4s somewhere, I don't remember exactly where, they added the ability to have role groups. In other words, you can have a group of roles so that if you have a series of rights that people need, that quite frequently somebody needs all of them, but you don't want to have them grouped in one because there may be some that you only want to give out occasionally, then you can group a bunch of them and say, oh, Will needs this whole group of roles. So you not only have roles, but you can do role groups.
Something else that they've added to the authentication as well, the security of it, is for those of you that don't know, is I think it's 4.6, is they added the ability to not just do roles, but a specific user.
Yes.
But unfortunately, you have to know the exact name.
There's
no lookout. There's no lookout. So.
Yeah. The other thing that is important about the way DotNetNuke is built, the actual architecture, is this membership, this roles-based authentication can also can be swapped out, or it's provider-based, so you can use Active Directory if you want to.
There's actually quite a few people there's actually a Roxblocks that Antonio Chigari, he's the blog module team leader. He did a Roxblocks that talks about using a different membership provider for DotNetNuke. So if you have an existing membership to, like maybe an existing website, that you already had, or it could be something that other than Active Directory, but something else internal. You can actually switch out to use that other database in conjunction with the DotNetNuke authentication.
Open ID, Live ID.
Well,
those are
that's
different.
different. Yeah.
That's
completely switching it out.
There's a difference between the two. But now having said that, roles, users, and roles authentication and
Group of roles.
what?
Group of roles. Group of roles.
No, roles, just roles themselves. Being
Right.
able to assign roles, that provider, and groups as part of that provider. The roles, the users, and the or membership, if you want to use that terminology, and profiles. Those three providers are tied very closely together. And so if you do decide you need to replace one of them, you need to look and be very careful if you're only replacing one that you don't accidentally break something. Because they are they're more closely coupled than they probably should be. But having said that, you can also replace all three of them with your own implementation very easily. It's just if you're just going to replace one of them, you need to be very careful.
I've actually done that very easily myself. I mean, I've had, and he's right, they're so closely together that it's very rare that I change one without having to change the rest of them. And so I think the first time I ever did that, it took like less than a day. I'm not the best programmer in the world.
It's not, none of this is rocket science. And that's the cool thing, is you got the code, you can go look at it. It's not that hard. Did we answer your question to your satisfaction? There's other things that are involved as well, but those are the main things. After that, you have your modules.
Right.
And there are some functionalities, like it has a scheduling section in it to schedule certain things that happen on the website. And